Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Rhinestone Island. And as you can see, we did some work on this interchange from last episode, and I gotta say, I'm really happy with the result of this. I think that I was a little bit concerned about the way everything looked, because I know, especially last episode, you could see that just merging roads like this and using the road or sharp angle junctions, I think is what it's called, using that mod to make really weird angles and things on the road can be a little bit weird with the textures. You know, you get some weird flickering, you get some weird looking intersections and all that stuff. So I was a bit concerned that we wouldn't be able to cover that stuff up with decals and details and all that stuff, but I really like the way this turned out. I think it's a pretty nice looking interchange, but I think it's also a really effective interchange, and I'll show you guys. I mean, you can already see it's getting quite a bit of traffic, you know, all through this area, and there's not a single light anywhere in this stretch of road or in this entire stretch of road all the way to the highway. So everybody coming from the highway or leaving the highway is just like evenly flowing in and out and right down this road with no problems whatsoever. And then the new addition since last time is not only this little light over here, but also the split down here. I'll talk about this a bit later on, but the nice thing about this traffic light, now, it was inevitable to have a traffic light at some point. We needed to have a new split off point so that we could have some sort of expansion in this direction. I was sort of planning on having at some point more neighborhoods, maybe some apartments and stuff over here, and then even a golf course and stuff in the future over in this direction towards the little bay area over here. And because of that, we need to have a big intersection at some point. But the nice thing about it being right here is, well, first of all, like I said earlier, probably something like 60 to 70% of our traffic coming through this intersection over here is going to split down this way, head over here, and go off to our marina and our cruise ship dock over here, and of course the train station over here. And because of all this volume just like leaving our system right here, we have a significantly lighter load coming into the actual intersection over here on this side, and the only people actually taking this road down here into the main strip are trying to get to the shopping center over here, or maybe some neighborhoods, you know, around this way. And even then, I mean, a lot of people will take this little exit over here just to get to their neighborhoods over on this side. So all in all, this is a much lighter intersection than it used to be. But on top of that, because we're planning on implementing like a large portion of this town over on this side, and you know, moving and having apartments and stuff over here, I thought it might be kind of nice to have another split off going in this direction, and then you could bypass this light, and then the intersection created over here is going to essentially be a new main road that goes off in this direction. So this will allow traffic to sort of split at a fork right here and then move in this direction, and then the only traffic actually trying to turn into this this road over here will be traffic coming from this area to an area over here, which I really don't think will be all that heavy of a load, because most people will just drive straight on these roads, you know, over here. And all in all, this is going to really lighten the load and distribute our traffic super nicely. So really happy with this, not only you know, effectiveness wise, but also just aesthetically. I'm pretty happy with it. I think that all these little details were pretty cool. I like our little hidden police officer down here trying to bust speeders coming up this little on-ramp over here. But anyway, this episode, if you can't already tell, is going to be mostly live, actually, which is super nice, because I know that I said when I started this little area over here that we'd have lots of live stuff, and then of course the marina came into play, and the shopping center came into play, and all this stuff just turned into like a whole bunch of detailing, a whole bunch of prop placement, and it wasn't super good for live stuff. So you know, there's all that. But today what I want to do is I want to start figuring out what this is going to look like. I want to put down some apartments. I want to just like get a good idea of what all this is going to look like, and then we can continue to expand our neighborhoods, continue to detail these areas, and all that stuff. So I wouldn't expect a whole lot of actual detailing in this area quite yet. It's mostly just about getting the basis down, you know, the baseline for the rest of this area, and then we'll move on from there. But what I do want to do next episode is finish detailing the marina and all that stuff. I just wanted to take a break from fully time-lapse episodes and do something different. So that's what we're doing right now. But why don't we go ahead and take a look at this area and maybe get some apartments going. Alright, so the first thing that might seem a little bit weird right now is the fact that even though these are 90 right now, these are at a perpendicular angle, for some reason I've decided to make this at this angle here. Now what's going on is I'm trying to match this angle right here, so I'm bringing this road in this direction, I'm using this grid over here, and I want these to match up. So that's what that's all about. We're going to have to move this train line to make that work. But the reasoning behind this, and this is kind of just like a flow that I'm trying to get down for this this area over here, but you can see that the grid starts at a nice perpendicular right here, and then it moves kind of this way with like a, you know, an arch in this direction. So I also want it to go this way and then curve into this direction. And then I'm even going to use the angle from this road, so I'll just give you a little example here. I don't know if this is going to be final or anything, but we'll bring this road in something like that, right? Maybe a bit more of an angle than that even. We'll bring this road out to, you know, maybe something like that, whatever. It'll be a real road, not a highway. And then we'll connect it to a road like this to bring it back to this grid. We'll follow this grid everywhere else. We'll just have this be you know, one single diagonal in a grid of this angle here, and then we'll move over to this way. And what that kind of does is it, you know, makes like a nice flow all the way around here grid wise, and I think that's a nice look for this city. So we'll try and follow something like that. Now let me go back a bit, and the first thing that needs to happen, of course, with this new position is we're gonna have to once again change up the train track, and I've already done this plenty of times, and it seems like I have to keep redoing the train route every single time, so that kind of sucks, but not a big deal. We can do that no problem. So the first thing we want to do is I want to grab an angle here. I think this looks pretty good. Maybe here, actually. Ooh, I need to bring this out more if we're going to do that. So bring you to like here. That's much better. So now we have access to this. And I think something like that will do the trick. And I'm going to just make this up for now. We'll probably bring it down in some sort of slope. But I'm trying to make this like a nice even curve. And it looks like we're going to get that. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So we get a nice little wobble here, which I kind of like. It feels kind of natural, organic. So that's good. And then once we get to here, this is when we want to start going down. So I just want to make sure that this connects properly. Let's bring our elevation step to 1/2, and then we'll take you up here, and then this is going to come down one more, like so. Give us a nice even slope. Perfect. And then I'm going to start the curve relatively soon here. Probably about that far off from the highway. Something like that. And that even might have been too close, actually. Let's get it a bit further away. Something like this. It's more like it. There we go. And perfect. That actually, I'm going to be picky here. That still didn't feel super great. I think we're at a bit of a too steep of an angle there. Let's try bringing this angle a little bit further out. Something like this, just to really keep that, yeah, nice and smooth there. So there we go. Now, the thing about this is our avenue is kind of heading straight for the highway and for this little road. So I think we're probably gonna have to like rethink. Ooh, I think this is due to that curve. That's why it's doing that. Probably gonna have to rethink exactly where this is gonna go from here. I don't really think that I want to have it curve with this, but that might end up happening in the future. But for now, I'm just not even going to worry about it, honestly, because I'm really only concerned with figuring out the stuff closest to our shopping center over there, closer to the middle of town. So let's start doing that. Now, this is our entry point. So from here, this is where I want to have that one single road that's going to be at a bit of a different angle. Now, we might have gone a little bit too steep there. In fact, I think we did, because this is a very steep road going in this direction. Yeah, it's a little steeper than I intended. So I'm going to bring this back just a little bit. It was kind of a nice angle for merging onto this road, but I think I'd rather do something a bit more modest like that. And then from here, we're still getting a pretty steep road, but it's not as bad. So something like that. And then we'll find a road that's going to connect nicely, something like this. There we go. Here's our connection point, like so. And we're on track. So I'm kind of liking that. I think this gives a bit of character to this little area over here. So we'll do some interesting stuff detailing wise around here and make this all look nice, but for now we'll not worry about it. So now that we have that, I think this is the area I want to put the apartments in, and I might do some apartments over here as well. But the goal here is just to sort of make this point right here, or this general point right here, the densest when it comes to housing. So apartments, I guess, is like the biggest we're gonna get. And the apartments I'm talking about are these right here. We've got some American apartments. We've also got some of these like metro apartments, which I don't really know if I'm gonna use. I think these will probably go down here somewhere. In fact, this is a really cool place for these, because you see these a lot in towns like this, I think. Some nice, you know, upscale apartments that are like right on that main strip, and you know, with nice access to everything that's going on in the middle of town. So we'll probably do something like this over here, you know, along with all of our shopping center stuff in the future. But I think for our purposes over here, we're probably going to mostly use these little individual American apartment complexes. So let's play around with that a little bit and see if we can get something going over here. This is one of the many super nice uses of the Move It mod, which is this one right over here. Now the problem you can see is I want to have this next one be perpendicular to this one, and this is not perpendicular. So what I can do is I can put it over here like this. That is perpendicular. Obviously I'm using prop tree anarchy, and I'm using the you can see my fat chirpy up here. So I am of course using the angle junctions mod, which allows me to do this as well. And then using Move It, I can just move this right on over, and as long as I am sure to, you know, make sure that this whole apartment complex is close enough to the road so that we don't have any problems with services, then we will pretty much be good to go. So as you can see here, I'm just gonna very carefully, and I can even use Alt to make much finer adjustments. I'm gonna move this so it's just inside here, so this isn't going to be showing. And then over here on this side, I want to get this to just barely bring, there we go, just like that. So we got a nice even corner over here. Now, ooh, this side worked out really well as well, so we're pretty much good to go, which is awesome, by the way. I mean, this is how amazing this mod is. So now you can see we've got these like two clipped apartment buildings that look pretty much like they were supposed to be like this, which is awesome. So what I'm going to do from here, and obviously this is going to be probably in the next episode when we do some more detailing, is I want to get, hang on a minute, why is, oh yeah, I didn't zone this, did I? This is all just supposed to be some back road stuff now. Ooh, you know what? I think I was doing something here. Why is this left undone? I swear last episode I was working on this. Maybe I'd never finished it. Let me just let me just do this then. There's supposed to be that there, and there's also supposed to be not this, and a little bit of this as well. But anyway, whatever, that'll be fixed later. We'll work on that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some concrete over here, and then I'm gonna put a little private pool. We're gonna have some outdoor furniture, like a nice back amenities area over here. And then I think I'm gonna try to have, let me just pull this to daytime again. I'm gonna try and bring a road back this way for some parking. So I think I'm gonna even just use this road here. So let's see, I think I'll just bring this all the way down. And then how far should we bring this road? That's the real question, because it's going to connect to here, but how far should we bring this grid rather? That's the real question. So I think that I want to use these same grids here. Actually, I think these are going to look nice if we bring them over one more like this. This road's going to be just like the organic road that sort of breaks the pattern here, so I'll bring this one down this way as well. Maybe even have this one end up parallel to this one and go into our golf course over here, but for now we'll have this like this. I'm just going to bring this down further. Perfect. And I don't really even think I'm going to be making any connection. Well, maybe we will if we need. We'll see about this. But the reason why I'm planning all this in advance is I want to have one more building here. So let me pull these up again and we can take a look. Oop, that's the wrong one. There we go. So I think these really should be on the main road here, or close to the main road. So maybe we do one like this, like at a different angle perhaps. Let's see, what do I think about that? I mean, it's certainly taking up a lot of space. It's kind of nice to have different angles though for these apartments, I think. So if we did this, yeah, you know, I think I'd rather do some other sort of commercial building here. So instead of that, I'm going to try and bring this one over here in the background and then throw it down here. That way, these all kind of come together with a little centerpiece here, which is going to be gated off, of course. And then we'll have a little pool. We'll have some nice places to sit, maybe some hot tubs over here or something. Really going to spruce this place up a little bit. And then this side's going to have the parking. So let me grab our parking lots and we can start playing around with that just a little bit. And I've been using these. I kind of made the switch finally to some nicer parking lots that are much better than the ones that I used to have. So that's nice. Now let's see. We could do this and then have a little median thing here, but I think that brings this parking lot too close to the road. So instead of that, I'm just going to put this one here. This will be the median, and then that'll all be good. So we got some above ground parking here, and I think sometimes these places have underground parking. I mean, you can't really like make that in this game, so I'm just gonna kind of pretend like it exists. But you know, just for the sake of not making like 1 billion above ground parking spots, which wouldn't really look super realistic, I think. So let's do like 2 more parking spots here. I'm gonna make this all concrete, and then that should be good for. I'm gonna do some, you know, fences. I'm gonna put some foliage right here, maybe some rocks and stuff. Then have the hot tubs right here, have the pool over here, and then move into some outdoor furniture and stuff. Maybe have some little covered areas for eating and stuff and whatever. But that's just like the general gist of this apartment complex. This is a pretty big apartment complex, and probably like the nicest one that's going to be in this whole town, because again, this is like the biggest we're going to get in terms of building size. So wanted to make it nice. I don't even mind having those little dots. In fact, well, we got an empty one here anyway, but that kind of looks like nice locations for some planters. So let's do that real quick. Planter, grab you. Boom. I'm gonna try and make this one a bit more even with that one, so something like that. Put one over here as well. Then I think the rest, we probably won't have any like right in front of the apartment, so that's pretty good. I think I was like right in the middle of working on this area, and then for some reason I ended up running out of time and stopping on that recording session for last episode, so I must have like left this whole area halfway done. So that's what this episode's for, so no worries. Let's grab our palm trees. Whoops, that's the wrong sizing. And we'll just plop these down real quick. Perfect. Anyway, so now we can zone, which is great. and I think I'm just gonna try and do a 4x4 here and hope for the best. Let's see what we get. I'm just curious. I think this is gonna be the low level stuff first, so it won't even be that exciting, but maybe we'll get a nice rest. Yeah, so it's gonna be one of these like generic Sally's stores for now, but I do think that it'll grow into a nicer, maybe like a Starbucks or something. It'd be nice if that's what happened. I don't know how long it takes for these to grow. I wonder if I could snag one of those from somewhere else and then use the you can see I got one of these over here, like a little, I think I could probably, oop, is it already growing? No, it's not. I think I can use my eyedropper tool to snag one from over here in downtown. Let me see if I can find some low density. What do we got? We got a Applebee's. I don't really want the Applebee's. I kind of wanted the... we got a lot of Applebee's apparently. Big Bite. Man, none of the ones that I want. Ah, here we go. Sherlock's Coffee, aka pretty much just Starbucks. And then we'll grab this one here. So Shift T. This is the eyedropper tool, which is pretty useful for things like this, I guess. I don't really... I don't know. I'm not always a huge fan of this because it seems like no matter what I do, eventually these... Oh, I forgot that I have, what is it? Sharp angle junctions. Disables clipping on those. Anyway, sometimes it seems like these will grow in and then they'll just like grow out again. So I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen. I'm going to keep my eye on this and see, but... I might need to get that mod that lets you like click and then disable leveling up, but we'll see. We'll see. I think for now we're gonna be okay. Then we go down here all the way over, and bam, connection. And then we're just gonna have this road go straight on back to there. So it's nice. It looks like it's a drive-through, even though there's no actual roads going through, and it kind of works out nicely, I think. So. That'll be good, and I'm gonna of course leave this for detailing at a later date, but I just wanted to get a good idea of what that would look like. Whoa, that was some autosave action going on, but anyway, okay, we got, whoops, that was weird. Was that autosave also? I don't really know what happened there, but anyway, now that we got that, other thing that I'm thinking about right now, this road feels a bit weird because it's going straight into this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete this and then move this one over a little bit. I need to stop deleting build. Oh, never mind. I can't actually move it, so whatever. It's a Rico building, so you can't really move them on the spot anyway. But these house quite a few people. You can see, I think this is, yeah, like 80 people instead of the standard like 10 or something. Or 5 or whatever. So these alone are going to bring quite a bit of people into this town. So again, super happy with having an interchange like this that'll sort of manage all of that and split everything off nice and evenly right off the bat on the way in. So oops, okay, we got not enough workers. I'm really hoping this doesn't despawn. I think I'm gonna have to get a mod to just like ease my my stress, so I'm not just like constantly thinking about that, because that's what I'll do if I don't know for sure. So anyway, we need to have this one at the very least past the I think the beginning of the building right here to make sure that it has a road connection. But once we do that, we can sort of just do something like this and then bring it off from there. And this is going to be a nice little 4x4, which I think we're getting far enough away from the tight grids that we can start doing more like 4x4 housing, so the bigger stuff, which actually in my opinion almost looks better than the 2x2 housing we have in the American houses set. Like we've got these big homes, which I think look a lot more like American suburbs than these sort of smaller homes, although this one actually looks a lot like an American suburb home, so whatever. Anyway, let's connect this. Whoops. Let me fix that. There we go. It's a nice tight grid space, and I might even I might even rethink this area a little bit. I might do something like this just to shake it up a little bit. So we're going to definitely have, these are supposed to be the 5x5 still, so, or the 2x2s with 5 wide splits. Oops, this is supposed to be dirt. And there we go. Do the same thing over here, just to enforce that nice 2x2. Perfect. Do the same thing over here. Awesome. All right, so now that we got this area sorted out, I think this is going to be just like similar neighborhoods and stuff. We're not going to do anything crazy with this little area over here. I might do some commercial on this side just to sort of shake up the look of this area, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty basic. This area, however, is going to be the other part of our apartment complex, so I definitely want to have that in here before we move on to the suburbs again. So let's jump on that now. All right, so for this second apartment complex, I'm thinking about doing something a little more compact. I want to try and keep this area relatively tight, and then I want to leave plenty of space to move out into more suburbs over here, maybe a commercial building or two in this little corner over here, and then you know, obviously going out to suburbs over on this side. So for things like this, and just like in general apartments like this, I think the best way to handle this is to make sort of like a little entry point like this. This is what I see a lot with these apartments anyway. It seems like they have their own sort of like gated community, so they're going to be you know, off of the main road and have like a gate or a fence around them. So that's what I'm going to do here. Just going to try and make some shapes that make sense. I think I want to leave 4 in the middle here if I can. So what I'm going to start with, let's see, let me grab this real quick. I'm going to start by doing, see if we can clip some of these together and make something out of it. Perhaps, let's see, that was what, 4 plus 1? So 4, there's our plus 1. Is that even? I can't, yeah, that's even. Okay, they're both on the edge there. So I like to also like clip these together. I don't know, I think these apartments in general just do really well when they're clipped together. Actually, wow, that kind of looks good too, actually. I never even noticed that, but you can kind of do sort of interesting clipping like this as well, and it doesn't even look too bad. Never really thought of that, but you can totally do that. I don't think I'll do it over here though, but mostly because I want to have a fence over here, but still a cool idea. So anyway, from here, I'm going to leave this center space as is. I want to have some sort of like amenities over here, so maybe like a pool or something as well, because this is also supposed to be a pretty nice you know, apartment place. So I want it to be as nice, or maybe not as nice as this area, but it's going to have some nice places, or nice amenities anyway, being a pretty nice part of town and all. So we'll have one on this side, and then I think we can fit another double over here, right? Yeah, we can. So another double on this side, and I wonder what it would look like if we try to do something like this. I mean, that kind of works if nothing is problematic over here. It kind of is though. Yeah, it's not really ideal, honestly. So never mind. It's kind of hard to make this clipping work sometimes. This almost works over here, but I think on the back it looks a bit odd to have this entrance like that. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's actually okay. It's like a corner entrance and then a back over. Yeah, you know, I kind of like that. I think I'm going to keep that just because I want to have some more variety in the building shapes and all that stuff. So then we got one over there, and then I think the last thing I want to do is I want to try and make a connection over here to this main road on this side. So let's see if we can find a place to pull this off. Do something like this. Bring this out and then connect it like so, and that connects our neighborhood in more than one location. So I know it looks a little bit weird right now, but trust me when I say that I do plan on doing some you know, some detailing and all that good stuff to make this area look nicer. So we'll fence this off. We'll probably add some more commercial over here on this side, and then I don't know if I want to add any more housing. I might do one more like here. Yeah, I'll do it there because it's kind of offset, and then I think for over here we're pretty good. I might do one in the middle here like this, and then we'll have the pool on this side. Maybe some actually, yeah, I like that. So we'll do like the pool or something over here on this side. Now we do need some parking, so maybe we have the bulk of the parking over here. We'll have some parking lots back here or something. So let me just pull this out further than it needs to go, and then bring the road just a little bit over here, and a little bit over here. In theory, we could connect this as well, but I don't really know how well it's going to go down. Yeah, I'm really not sure about this. Let me try this. Let me try this, and then this, and then that. Can we get a better connection though? Something like that's still too close. There we go. Perfect. Okay. That's what I wanted. So now we got plenty of space for parking as well, and then the parking will go right up to the back. We'll have a little fence on this side, and then we'll have our commercial stuff over here. So all kind of works out evenly in the end. I'll hit play as well. Forgot about that. Do I even have the sound on? Okay, good. Sometimes when I'm working off camera, I forget to turn the sound back on again. Yeah, it's funny actually. With all of this recording of time lapses and things, and not a lot of live footage, I really haven't recorded the game sounds in a long time. I noticed that. So, oops, did not mean to do that. Just trying to get to these parking lots, so I was going the wrong way. So here's the parking lots. Let's do these like 3x2s, and then I'm gonna try and center them like this. So some parking there, and then maybe we do, honestly, maybe we do the pool over here, and then do some stuff across the street over here, because we got plenty of space back here before we kind of fence off the whole thing like this. So let's do that just to kind of disperse this parking across everywhere. And I'm gonna even use a 4x2. That'll be nice for here, and then I could probably even fit in some little singles like this. I don't think the singles really fit that well, actually. Well, kind of fits okay on this side. No, it's okay. We don't need these. No, need a reason for that. So we'll do that. There's no way I could fit one of these, and I don't think so. I won't do that. Just trying to make sure we got this optimized here. I think that's pretty alright. So there we go. That's good. I don't think we need any more parking around here, so I guess that'll be it for the parking. Again, a bit light on the parking, I think, for a general apartment complex like this, but I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Again, I think a lot of these places would have underground parking, maybe not a place like this, but definitely a place like this, one of these more urban apartment loft areas. But man, whoever did the models on this and the texturing did a really good job. I mean, these look amazing. These look like actual modern urban apartments, so huge props to whoever did this. I don't know who made these, but they are fantastic. So anyway, that's pretty good for this apartment complex. I'm just gonna leave it again. I know that it looks a bit barren, but bear with me. We're gonna get back to this, and we're gonna make it look super awesome when we're all done. So all that stuff aside, though, I think we're pretty good with this area. This will probably become maybe like a small suburb over here, some commercial right here, and then what I was planning on doing for quite a while now, so I should probably just do this now while we're here, is I've always wanted to add, here it is, what is it, Best Western? Yeah, Best Western. I want to have a Best Western like right off our highway. I feel like it's pretty common to have Best Westerns, you know, as like a rest stop kind of thing, or just right off the highway, so we can get people to come in and stay. So I want to put it here. I'm going to use the Move It tool just so that we can get, let me try and get this right here, but I want to get right in front of this intersection here. So you can move in and out around here. Very nice. Just some maybe lower income hotel, you know, and nothing super fancy. Obviously, you're right next to the intersection and the railway over here, so not like the nicest place to stay, but certainly affordable if you want to go to this marina over here, or maybe stay in this town and check it all out and go to the shopping center or whatever. But yeah, that's good. And then I think what I'll do with this is probably bring this road out and then, you know, create some more suburbs back here. And while I'm at it, I'm probably just going to kind of connect the back a little bit and add some details around this. You know, put some parking down over here, but that'll all come later as well, probably in the next episode. Because again, like I was saying before, next episode should be the detailing episode. But I think that just about does it for this episode. I'm pretty happy with our overall progress here. Now, I just wanted to get back and do some live stuff, so that's the real purpose of this episode, was to play around with this interchange in particular, because I'm really in love with the final result of this, and then also just get a nice idea of the direction of this little town. But I really love the shape so far. I think it's pretty cool. I think that this last little bit here, it looks really nice, but it also sort of starts to make all of this look pretty symmetrical in the end, you know, which isn't really a bad thing, but I wouldn't be opposed to shaking it up a bit. So what I'm going to do is definitely bring these roads down in this direction in the future, and really change up the shape, and you know, keep it lopsided to an extent, and not let it all be too symmetrical. So that'll happen next time. Well, maybe not this part next time. We'll definitely do the detailing next time, but we'll eventually get to this area, maybe do a golf course, all that stuff. But I do need your suggestions for a name for this town, because I know it's still unnamed. It's still just kind of sitting here being Cozy Park, which is certainly not a good name for a town with a big marina like this. So let me know down below if you have any cool ideas for names and all that stuff, of course. But aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.